Why do I do that every time?
Wait, start singing?
Yeah.
I'm Crystal Dior.
I think I was supposed to be an artist.
Oh, what kind of artist?
Like
singing, a recording artist?
Yeah.
Recording artist? Singing?
Like a multi-talented one.
Okay.
Like a rapper.
Everybody just multifaceted, triple threat, quadruple threat.
I just like I was supposed to be. I'm not walking in that.
You're not walking into your purpose.
Yeah.
You're not walking in your purpose of being all things to everybody.
That's what it feels like, but we'll come back to that.
Yeah, so when you start singing, well, take some voice lessons and then we'll have y'all here like Northwest.
Maybe I'll practice on here with y'all. Don't. Why'd you call out Port Northie?
Something behind the scenes. Okay.
But I'm going to try something new today that's going to be helpful to you guys and us. Before we even do our one-liners, I want you to subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe
right now. It don't cost you nothing. There's clicks to go around for everybody.
Yes.
So pass one over here, okay?
Subscribe, like, follow, favorite, do all the things. And then we're going to give you some dope one-liners.
Okay.
If you do that for us.
You ready for these one-liners?
Go ahead.
I'm excited about mine. Okay. So let's see if you can guess what we're talking about today based on this.
Mm-hmm.
So, I didn't just glow up. I set that whole bitch on fire.
Okay. Now this one, I actually wrote myself, so I don't know if that's good or bad.
Listen, your confidence. You got this. You did better than ChatGPT.
I did. Okay. Just like global warming.
The fact that you start off with global warming? So now you just started thinking like AI. You start thinking like ChatGPT. Okay.
Okay, y'all messing me up. Okay.
Y'all, it's just me here. Y'all messing her up. Shut up.
Okay. Just like global warming, my glow wasn't expected, and no one's ready for this heat.
Damn. Well, that was morbid. Just like global warming, I'm about to burn you up.
I wrote this today when the weather was being really random. I was like, global warming. Oh, I'm about to write about. Anyway.
Oh, goodness. Well, I don't want to get caught on fire by global warming. Okay.
Okay, we're done. Let's jump to.
Who said
Y'all got
that?
the giggles for the day, or the goals. Now we're going to jump to the goals. Who said that? It's my week this week. So the quote is.
I like this little note you put to remind yourself.
I did. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Don't be afraid to glow differently. That's the quote. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this person is an athlete. This person is different. This person, did things different in the industry.
Okay.
This person has a makeup line.
Okay.
Who is it?
Serena Williams.
Yes.
I didn't know she had makeup, but
it's new. That's why I used it. She just came out with her makeup line.
Okay, she does things different. She do.
She's unique, and I like that about her.
She is.
She's definitely the type who she glowed up. She glowed up, but I think she's gonna keep glowing up.
Absolutely. She glows from the inside
She does.
out. I love
Yeah.
her Instagram and like seeing her do all her little
Her
things.
confidence. And for her, I feel like growing up watching her just be the best at what she does. Although she was the best at what she does, she got a lot of criticism.
Correct.
A lot. And it seemed, I don't know if it phased her internally or behind closed doors, but she never showed like she was phased by people's little chitter chatter. She always came out very confident.
Mm-hmm.
And she never...
On the court though, she definitely let you know when you should when she got you together on the court.
She does.
Not even just with playing, but I've seen her get people together.
Yeah, because she knows her stuff. She knows the rules of that game.
Exactly.
And she's going to hold them to it, and she dominates so well that no one can really,
say anything. It's
yeah.
like, if you have anything to say about her, then you're clearly hating.
Yeah, because she's the queen. Like, she can come back tomorrow and probably still beat everybody.
She gave a little hint like
she said she missed. What did she say?
I miss playing tennis, or she's bored or something like that. She was like, okay,
she probably will.
You coming back out in these tennis streets,
and she probably will come back and kill it. And I love that for her.
Of course,
she's a great glow up example. So that's our topic for the day: glowing up. And what does that look like?
Yes.
And how do you do it? And how do you sustain it?
Exactly, because a lot of people like to associate glowing up with not just hygiene, but just looks and, body or face or, all that stuff.
It's life, though.
Right. Like, glowing up is an internal thing.
It is.
It's an intrinsic
maturity
shift. Yes.
It's how you handle things differently. Like,
it takes introspection.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Because some of the stuff, like the foolery I experienced today, old me would have handled it completely different.
What was the foolery? You got some more
just
friend stories?
Just fooling, just life.
Life be lifing. Okay.
Life be lifing. But when I think about the life that I've been lifing, I feel like I've gotten a lot more hurdles.
Yeah.
Like back to back to back to back to back. But I handle them a lot better than I thought I ever would. Like, old Crystal would have been freaking out, panicking,
yes,
like giving up, like in the corner crying, like you know what I mean?
Rolling on the floor. For me, I used to be like, you roll on the floor,
like a hot shot,
hollering.
Anyway, right? But now I'm just like, no, it's okay, because although I have a lot more hurdles, I have a lot more blessings, and I've glowed up, and I've leveled up, and sometimes with leveling up comes criticism and crap and stuff going wrong, and it's a part of it. So although like Serena, she won a million championships, people still like to talk about her hair, her this, her that,
like there's always going to be some type of issue, like friction. There's always going to be friction in life. Nothing's ever going to go 100% smoothly, perfectly. So knowing that, how do you still come out radiant and on top of the world,
Yeah.
So let's get into that.
Let's jump in it.
So, glowing up is about becoming the best version of yourself. That's the premise of what we're talking about today. And whether that's through improving your physical appearance, mental health, or overall lifestyle, is all encompassing.
Yeah. I think a big part of the glow up, if you're doing it for other people, I think it doesn't quite hit the same as when you're doing it for yourself.
Period.
And I feel like most people who glow up, and you ask them like, oh, something's different about you. Their confidence is up. They're loving on themselves more. Their self-care is up. They're not in some toxic nothing.
Speaking life into other people just because.
Yeah. So really a glow up is just being a good person.
Right. Just being kind. Just being, person. Loving yourself so you don't have time to hate on nobody else. How about that?
100%. So glowing up isn't that hard. Just be a good person.
Right. Some people don't know how to define a good person or how to that is. So let's talk about that.
Let's do it.
So the first thing is when you're glowing up, you don't just like, it's not like a big bang. You don't just like pow.
No.
You just glowed up. Like Cardi B has had a
process,
transitional glow up. Okay.
She has.
From when back in the day when she was on Instagram doing her like live stories and stuff like that to now, the glow up has been substantial.
It has.
But it's been incremental at the same time. It hasn't. Maybe it's happened faster because she's a superstar. But even with her superstar status and money, it's still taken time over.
And she's even
over and over.
She's even matured a bit. Because when I hear her interviews now, they're so different than when she first came. I mean, she's also a mother now.
Correct.
And she's been married and maybe divorced
a lot.
But she is. Life is life, and she's like life has grown her up.
Correct.
And so she's mature, and so her glow up just you see it from her. Cause she's more calm but still herself. Yes. And so that's even a glow up for her,
I don't. This is a side note. I want to do another episode about this, specifically Waka Flocka. Have you? So I know it's so random. But this man, he has the way he talks now. You could tell he's had some glow up sessions with a therapist or himself or something like that. Because I remember way back on 106 in Park, there was a moment where he was asked a question and he didn't answer it. He was spaced out. He just seemed like a really like dumb jock type of guy. Okay. But now his conversations, what he's talking about, intelligence. He's speaking with intelligence. And I'm like, I want to know what that glow up story was like for him.
You know who else?
Who?
50 Cent.
Okay.
Let me tell you what.
Second time you done went to bat for 50 Cent on the show.
Do I like him? Maybe I
do. Do I like 50 Cent? And but it's like the moment you realize, I guess I'm a fan.
Because I watched him in an interview recently on who's Charlamagne? What's the name of that one? Breakfast Club. And Charlamagne quoted something. He said something. He's like, "Don't you think this?" But he's like, "No, I don't think that." Oh, it was about Diddy's kids. Because him and Diddy, right? And Charlamagne's like, "Yeah, you said you would never hire his kids." If he said like, "I would never say that. There was a kids. Like I would never." Charlamagne's like, "No, let me quote you, right?" And so he quoted him from like 10 years ago.
Right.
And 50's like, "Oh, okay, well maybe I said that, but that was 10 years ago."
10 years ago.
Right? And so it's like you can see he's mature. Like He's a different businessman now. He's had a successful show on freaking
several shows.
Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He wasn't on Tyler Perry. Not digging Tyler Perry.
Right.
But he was on Showtime. He was on a national syndicated station, and his show is he is leveled up. Mm-hmm. Who else? Shaq.
Also, Shaq Perry's on OWN, so he's they out there.
But that's like yes, OWN and Tyler Perry. I would love to be on those shows.
Okay,
on those networks. But those are networks that were made. They're smaller compared to like
Showtime,
ABC, NBC. Mm-hmm. These are owned by people that we know their names. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know who owns those Showtime. That's how big Showtime is, right?
Yeah.
It's not even owned by a person. It's owned by
a conglomerate.
Probably like 9 parent companies on top of parent. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different. Tyler Perry and Oprah are very, very rich, but Showtime and that's a different level.
All right.
You know, and so him getting on there, that's different. That's like okay. Mm-hmm. You don't need nobody's help. You don't need people who look like us to open the door for you. You just kind of like busted in there with the
Right, and now he has this amazing studio that he's about to
building.
He's built. It's done.
It's done. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was quick.
Yeah,
so he's glowed up. Shaq is glowed up. He owns everything.
Shaq is in every commercial. He owns any commercial you could imagine, Shaq's in it.
He owns the rights to like Marilyn Monroe or something.
Really?
He owns the most random but like smartest, craziest things.
Right. So I'm gonna go buy this and sit on this for the right time.
I had no idea he was that business savvy.
Okay.
So that's a glow up, right? So it's like, but old Shaq we saw like couldn't make free throws. The people laughed at him, and he was.
He's always been amazing though. Shaq has his reputation precedes him when it comes to what he does behind the scenes, how he helps people, like how he leads with his heart in a lot of ways. And I remember he did the story about his shoe that came out and how some mom was like, I can't afford these damn shoes or something like that. And he said that right after that, he put them in Walmart so that people could afford them. So he also has heartfelt business practices, which I like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he does it in all types of industries. He has ownership in almost every industry. Hair industry, real estate, food, music, sports, like he's like definition of
his own Amazon.
Literally definition.
Shaq. What is Shaq Amazon would be called?
Oh my God, he would do something corny like Shaq-a-zon.
Shaq-a-zon.
he would totally do
Kazam. Like call it Kazam.
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
Yes. He should.
Call it Kazam.
You're welcome, Shaq. If you watch this. I was watching an interview he did with Funny Marco.
Okay, yeah, I love Funny Marco.
Me too. And Funny Marco was telling Shaq how he used to get like bullied for wearing Shaq's shoes.
Because it was from Walmart.
And Shaq was like, why did you get bullied? Funny Marco was like, really?
That's hilarious.
But now I feel bad for laughing because Shaq put them in Walmart to help the little boy.
Help the low-income families. It's like rock those with pride.
But like people glow up and you see their maturity, and it's really cool to see people who like when we were kids, maybe they weren't as serious. Yeah. But now they're like running the world, so it's cool.
It's really been awesome.
So let's talk about how do you do it.
Yes. So small steps. So like I was mentioning with Cardi B, incremental changes. 1% every day goes a long way. Mm-hmm. So there's this thing called an inflection point where you take tiny steps towards a goal or towards whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. And it seems like it's just like the same, like it hasn't really gone anywhere. But because of how your efforts compound, there will be a point where you could see exponential growth. Mm-hmm. So keep at it and do small changes. Like for instance, with me and my fitness goals, I've been I've been finding a hard time to just cut out some time to work out for like 20 minutes or so. But I like moving around a lot. I'm like up talking or playing with my daughter. Mm-hmm. So I will stop and do 20 reps of one type of workout. And I'm going to do that several times throughout the day. Until I get to the point where I can set out some time. But I'm at least having movement and exercise.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. The day. Yeah. I think sometimes we think, man, if I can't do all of it, I don't want to do any of it.
Exactly.
And it's like, no. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was a college admissions advisor, I would talk to students who were just like, well, I can't afford to be a full-time student. So I'm not going to go to school. Right. I don't need a degree. But they really wanted one. Take one class.
One class a semester.
And they're like, well, that's going to take forever. Okay, well, in 5 years, maybe 6, either you won't have any classes under your belt,
right,
or you have
some classes under your belt,
or you're halfway done, exactly. Or in maybe 8 years, maybe it takes you 8 years to finish, but in 8 years you would have not had anything.
Right.
So why does the one class taking forever bother you, but stopping and not doing it at all doesn't?
Starting brings the answers.
Yeah.
So you can't see how you're going to get your degree because you have to work a full-time job and you have kids and all that stuff. And you're like, well, I'm not going to be able to finish it in 2 years or 4 years or something like that. But right now, do what you can.
Do what you can.
And 2-3+ years from now, things can shift because your dream, when you start taking action towards your goals and your dreams, they will make room for you.
They absolutely will. You'll reprioritize and you won't even realize, man, I could have done it.
Right.
I think sometimes when something we want seems so big, it seems easier just to back out than to try and fail. And I think that's a big reason why people don't try. Because they're like, well, if I can't do it all the way and I'm going to fail, I don't want to do it. No, just try. Exactly. 1% matters.
And 1% matters. And understand the first thing you're going to go after, you most likely will fail at it. But the point is, you learn from that, and it's like, oh, every opportunity or every failure is a learning lesson or something like that. But it's not even. It sounds cliche, but it's real. Like there's a lot of unknowns. You don't know what you're gonna find until you get there. So you gotta get there.
100%. I like the next step, which is behavior change, right?
Yes.
Because you have to, if you want to change your life, you have to change your life.
Yes.
Right.
So you have to. If you want to change your life, you have to change your life.
You have to. You can't do the same thing.
Your habits. So let me tell you, I've been going through a lot of habit changes lately, and it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's awkward.
It's like it is awkward because it's like I feel like a lot of resistance to the things that I want to do that are comfortable. But if I'm trying to get to this next level in my life, I have to
be uncomfortable.
I have to be uncomfortable. I have to do stuff that I've never wanted to do.
Yeah.
I'm tired sometimes, but I also rest because I'm the type of person that gets uncomfortable with resting. So I rest more, but also I get up early so I can work when I need to work.
Yeah.
And I have to be disciplined. I have to turn the TV off. I have to have a regimen. So those things are helping me get to the places I want to go.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I think we think if we're comfortable, that means we're safe, but comfort does not mean safe. It does not mean safety. So sometimes being uncomfortable can push you to the most safe space you'll ever be in because you're doing more, you're glowing up, right? So I like that you're pushing yourself to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
Because at 5 a.m., girl. 5 a.m. club.
Exactly. And I don't do that every morning. I would do it for maybe 3 days out the week, and then I sleep in until my daughter wakes up 6:37. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it doesn't, just because you don't do it every day for the next 365 days, that doesn't mean you fail. You have to have, there's ebbs and flows to things. Like cycles are waves. Everything isn't just like a straight shot up to
and
something.
be gracious with yourself. Just because you fail one day doesn't mean you have to fail tomorrow. Doesn't mean you should give up on the whole journey.
Right. And so there's this book, Atomic Habits, where I learned a lot of how to change your habits to do and be the person and the things you want to do. So one thing it talks about is your environment. So when we talk about behavior changes, make sure your environment is conducive to the change.
Absolutely. And
from my perspective, I'm an interior designer. I absolutely love my environment to evoke a mood, to set an atmosphere, set a tone with lighting and things like that, and like see, touch, feel, all the senses. But not only that, if you want to start reading more, put the book you want to read on your pillow.
That's good.
So that you get up in the morning and you can see it and read it, or whatever you're going to do. Like, make it accessible so you have the least amount of dependencies between what you wanted yourself and what you want to do.
That's good. I know one thing I do now, and now it hasn't shown fruit yet. Okay. But on my calendar every day I put that I'm gonna wake up at a certain time, I'm gonna work out, and then I'm gonna do this. It's when I tell you every single day is on my calendar.
So
every day.
So there's this thing. It's called stacking habits. So if you want to work out, you have to brush your teeth every morning, right? So maybe when you brush your teeth, you do some squats, or you do some type of warm up or something like that. Or if you like do something that you're going to do anyway that's already a habit that you have.
And
add the new habit
to it
so that you can start to incorporate that.
That's good. I think another part of change that people don't think about is who you change for.
Yes.
I think it's important that you know that you're changing for yourself. Because in my experience, just in being a therapist, people who change for other people is temporary.
Yeah.
Because they don't necessarily want to change. They're trying to appease somebody.
Right.
So they'll change to make this person happy. But then as soon as that person's happy, they'll go back to homeostasis, which is where they're comfortable. And they'll go back to their old habits. They don't really want to change.
Right.
Because change is hard.
It is so hard.
And so
it's lasting, long-term change.
It is so hard. So if you do not really want to do it, you have to first battle your mind and make sure that you are in that you're ready to change. Because if you're not ready to change, yes, you're going to experience failure because you want to do it.
Right.
Right. So that's the mindset change part. Is the biggest part of this journey.
Intentionality.
That's how you change it.
Be purposeful with your intentionality.
And believe in yourself. Go into it every day thinking you're going to succeed. Even if you don't.
Right.
Go into it with a positive mindset about it.
Yes.
That's huge. Tell people around you too.
Right.
To be positive.
Accountability partners. Making sure that there's people there to, root you along. If you don't have I think we have another episode about a supportive community. If you don't have somebody who, if someone's like, oh, you gonna try that? How long do you think that's gonna last?
Listen.
And I may be guilty of saying that a time or two, but I gotta watch myself.
That's a big one. Cause I know for me, when it comes to working out, I'm gonna call my sister out. Every time I tell her I'm working out, she's like, okay. You know? I'm like, dang, girl.
Right, you just at least pretend. It's
you just act like I'm gonna do it.
Or not even pretend. What does it hurt to say, you got this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So, and it's easy when you have a banter, it's easy to accidentally speak against what someone's trying to do.
Yeah.
And you don't mean no harm. They're not even mad at you for it. But words have power, right? And that's the first change in your behavior is changing your mindset and changing your words.
Right.
How you speak about what you're doing. If you don't believe you're going to do it, you're not speaking that you're going to do it, then the likelihood of you doing it is lower.
Yeah.
So
also encouraging other people. If you want to see change in your life, maybe start off by encouraging others to see the change that they want to see in their life.
Yeah.
So I hear a lot about in multiple friendship groups about people who have a friend who is someone who may not be where they want to be in life right now, and they're struggling to kind of find a rhythm. And so if you have that friend, encourage them, speak life into them. And it may stick, it may not stick, but if you're I want to change my habits, focus on changing the things you want to do, but also if you have that person in your atmosphere, encourage them.
Yeah, I think that's huge.
Yeah.
I like this one, make it satisfying.
So making it satisfying, this is where I call it gamify your goals. So another thing I do on my fitness journey. So I love shopping, as many of us do. And if you are listening to this, you probably do too. So with that, I need, aside from I'm going to go off on a tangent. So I'll just talk about this goal. So because I like shopping, I want to make sure I don't just spend money willy-nilly, right? I want to make sure that if I'm going to spend money shopping, I'm not just doing it haphazardly. So I have to do a certain set of things in my fitness goal per day so I could transfer some money into my shopping bucket. And so if I do these things, this gets me closer to my fitness goals, and I will get this reward for that.
That's good.
So rewarding yourself often and then gamifying your goals. So when one thing I told one of my clients for his staff, and employee engagement, team building and stuff like that, when they hit their KPI, so you have your key performance indicators of what people need to do to make sure you hit the goals, basically. When they hit those things, give them an extra vacation day, a paid vacation day, or give them a bonus or something like that. Works. So then you're seeing rewards consistently, so it feels like you're actually, you don't have to wait until the whole project is done, or what you've lost all the weight, or you've gotten the body that you're dreamed about, and then you have to celebrate.
I mean, big companies do that. My company does that. We have a scaled reward system. We meet our goal, we get this. If we exceed our goal, depending on how much, we get more. And if the whole team, we get a day off. So corporations know that's what motivates people.
Right.
And it motivates most people because all of us are so different, right?
Yes.
So it's motivation. So do it for yourself. Like, treat your life like a corporation. Like, what do the big successful people do to keep their people? Like, what does Google do, right?
Oh, well, Google like to cash it out. Okay, listen.
Figure it out. I remember one of my cousins, she lost like 300 pounds. A lot. She was really, really, really big. She lost a lot of weight.
Okay.
She joined this boot camp where you paid them like $900, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you put it into the pot. And when you didn't meet your weekly goal, they would deduct from your $900 pot.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And when you did meet your weekly goal, they would add to it. And so by the end of whenever you're supposed to lose your weight, whatever you had left in your pot, you got to take it with you, right? So your workout program would have been free if you met all your goals.
Okay.
Right? Or it wasn't free.
Okay.
Right? And I thought that was really cool because it pushed her.
Right.
So that's not no chump change. It wasn't no chump change for her.
Right.
So like a $900 program, she was like, oh my God. But they're like, well, if you meet your goals, you'll get it back.
Yeah.
Right? And so it was like, huh.
That makes sense.
So that motivates people.
That at first I was gonna be like, well, I don't want nothing taken away if I'm trying to get to my goal. But if it's like I get to do this and it's free, or I have to pay this amount, I like that. I do like that. Mm-hmm.
So like it works. So incentivizing your incentive. I never said
Incentivize.
Incentivizing.
I'm like.
Anyway, doing it for yourself and setting yourself with some rewards.
Yes.
Celebrating your victories. All that matters.
Celebrating your victories is important. So if you did that once, it's like, don't let we only did it once get you down. Mm-hmm. You did it once. You did. It's better than zero. Yeah. So be excited about that. Even if you did it partially, be excited about that. And I'm not a type of person that's like give people participation trophies. That's not me over here. But it's okay to reward yourself, especially for long-term goals. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Accountability partners.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about that already. Making sure that you have people who are going to support you and who are going to root you on, and then those people who you know are going to be a little snarky say, talk to you later about this, or not at all.
Yeah, I think one thing also, which we talked about in our notes, focus on an identity-based habit. So if you want to run a marathon, start calling yourself a runner.
Oh, that's right.
Right? So if like for you, I know you talked about like the public speaking and the social aspect. So I'm a public speaker. I'm a coach. Speaker, yes. Just start speaking it and your confidence grows, right?
Right. Not I'm trying to public speak. I'm a public speaker.
Yeah.
Have you done it yet? No, but I know you'll be.
I mean, I'm talking to you right now in public.
Exactly.
Are we outside? I'm just kidding. But just start speaking it. I think a big one, and we talked about this before, about the plan B, preparing for failure. Yes. I think it's important to have a plan. Don't dwell on it. Don't let it keep you from moving forward, but have a plan.
Yes.
Know what you'll do. Right? Be on the offense or the defense all the time. That's huge in business and life. Like, because I feel like when you're not prepared, it makes the failure feel worse, and it makes you getting back up again longer. It takes longer.
It doesn't, like your shine is dim. Like it feels like your shine or the glow that you had is diminished a little bit because you felt like you're not, like you lost momentum, or you didn't make the thing get to where you want to go, or something like that, or there was a hiccup along the way. Don't let that deter you from your glow up. Like you don't have to go back to old ways. You don't have to regress into old habits. Because don't give up because something didn't happen. And I've been guilty of this time and time again. I feel like this season in my life, that's why I'm saying, like, we're saying those things that happened before that were maybe you failed. Even if this is your 10th time trying to do your glow up and sustain it, this will be the 10th time where it happens, where it sticks. Yeah. Because your effort causes shifts. Yeah. So when you keep putting in the effort, you will have a shift that happens. Yeah. I think
that's huge. Continuous improvement, like we talked about, the 1%, doing something, always be doing something. I know that's one thing that people actually like tease me about. I'm always doing something.
Right. Yeah.
Like
your hands are pretty full all the
time. Always, all the time. But there's this one season. It was like right when I first moved here, when I wasn't doing anything.
Okay.
And I was like very bored and very depressed.
Also, Houston has a lot to do though.
Yeah, but in general, that's how I function though. I'm a high functioning. Like I'm always I feel me juggling 9 things is comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I 10 might be overboard, but the 9 I can do. And it's funny because when I was in my last whatever, you know,
mm-hmm.
with, you know, one of the things, when I first met him, I was in the season if I wasn't doing anything, which is so weird. And I remember him being like, don't you have like goals for yourself? Like, don't you have things you want to do? I'm like, Negro, if you know the number of goals I completed in the day.
Exactly.
Like,
right now, you know the goal I'm setting right now is rest. It's okay to rest. You don't have to go. Like, because I've done so much, I'm going to take this time and let this marinate. That's a part of glowing up.
Yeah.
You can't glow if you ragged.
Yes, and you're tired, so you have to know. And so I remember being like so annoyed. I'm like, man, if he only knew. Like, I'm a goal-getting queen.
You're out here trying to prove something.
Yeah.
That's like, don't do it for other people.
Right.
Don't do it because somebody think you slacking.
And I did, and I was so annoyed. Because I think even when I did the pitch for the coffee shop, remember that?
Yeah.
A lot of that was fueled by him acting like I wasn't a boss. And I was annoyed. And I was like, I can start a coffee shop tomorrow. You know,
watch me start this coffee shop.
Right? I didn't even want to do that coffee shop.
You didn't drug me into it.
I did.
You didn't want to do it.
I'm gonna do it.
She's talking about, give me a quote so for my design of my coffee shop.
Because I told you when I do stuff, I do it, okay? But like, and it's funny because like halfway through that pitch competition, he gave up. He didn't want to do it no more. So he's just gonna. I'm like, no. When I start stuff, I finish stuff. So I went all the way through to the pitch competition because I said I was gonna do it.
Wow.
But I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
You sound like me when Robert tells me that I shouldn't be doing something. I'm like, first of all, that's how I started getting up at 5 a.m. Because Robert said that I started getting it. So it's like, thanks to Robert is why my habits are changing. So I did it for myself, but I also did it to prove somebody wrong. That could be a fuel. Use it.
That's one for me. Like when people, I have this big water, y'all can't see I have this huge water jug over here. So when I bought it, I told one of my friends, I'm going to drink this whole thing every day. And she's like, okay, we'll see how long that goes. I'm like, oh, bet. So it's been like
a gallon of water every day.
It's been like 2 months. And when I'm telling you I'm tired of carrying this thing around, I am tired. But I take it everywhere. Especially when she's around. I'm like, look.
Yes.
Because I'm petty. But.
Don't tell me I can't do something because it's done. For sure.
But for me, like, you know, like doing it for other people, it wasn't sustainable. But it reminded me that I could do anything I set my mind to.
You can.
So just figuring out what I'm setting my mind on.
Right. That energy that I'ma get you, sucker. I'ma show you. That energy.
Put it in the right place.
Put it in the right place.
That's exactly what we're saying. If you petty, use it petty properly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Do what you got to do. But let's jump into manifestation.
Yeah, let's talk about manifest versus action.
Yeah, because this is a subject where I, as a believer, I have like I used to, not anymore. I used to have weird feelings about when people talked about manifestation.
Correct.
But I realized manifestation is the same thing as speaking life, speaking things into existence, which is what the Bible talks about. Like, speak things as if they were. Power in your tongue. Exactly. Like, that's all the same thing.
I strongly believe that there are laws of the universe, right? So it's going to get a little hokey. But I believe that there is laws in the universe because, and I say this specifically for like things like you reap what you sow. That is also like karma. That's also like, you know, a bunch of stuff where there's multiple religions and cultures where these principles are taught through parables and stories and history and things like that. But the equations
they work.
They amount to the same thing. Equation is a great word because I also think like the universe is math. Yeah, like that I can get real crazy on that.
No, but I believe that too because I've talked to people who are just like, I don't understand how like these rich people who aren't even good people, how are they successful?
Yeah,
they're not even. They don't do good. They don't care about people. They're selfish. They're murderers. They're horrible people. But they're rich and they're successful because they're using the equation.
Right, they're using the equation.
And that sucks that that's how it could work sometimes.
Right.
But the equation is the equation. Now, are they gonna be happy? Are they gonna be joyful in their success? Are they gonna maybe still reap it one day and maybe their kid? Who knows what happens?
I mean, so
who knows? So that doesn't mean that they're more successful than you. It just means they're using the equation.
I think it also has a lot to do with what you put out into the world. Like people who are those things, who are more who are still reaping what it seems like benefits of the universe, but they have a depraved mindset or actions. I feel like there's a lot of things we don't know. There's a lot we don't know about how the universe works, how the world works, how all these things happen. And so when you put out light, we don't know how that translates into bigger things in the universe, I believe, sometimes.
So we might think they're successful, but maybe your time hasn't come yet, but your time when it comes, it will last. Right?
Exactly.
Or you could be like Diddy, right? So it's
it's also lineage, legacy.
Yes.
Like there's things that, the children pay for the sins of the father.
Yes.
So when the things that you're doing now, it may not affect you, but what will it do for generations coming after you?
Absolutely. Sometimes you're sowing a seed and maybe you won't get to see the full forest. Doesn't mean that the forest isn't coming.
Right. Your glow up is planting seeds.
Yes.
Know that.
And that doesn't sound as glamorous. You're probably like, can I get the other one? I understand. I understand. But sometimes success that takes a little bit longer lasts a little bit longer than sometimes quick success does.
Yes.
Especially with this blow up thing. Like I even think about, I don't know about you all, but I did not hit my glow in my probably exterior part of my life until like college.
Okay.
In high school, I was cute, but I wasn't, all the guys went after it in my yard. Okay. My milkshake was not bringing them. Okay. They didn't want my milkshake. Okay. And I had, classmates who were the hot thing. I've seen some of them recently, and I feel like my glow up came later.
Right.
And I don't know where theirs went. Right? So sometimes we're like,
some people peak early.
Right. So when back then though, I was like, why ain't I cute? I want to be cute. No boy. My mom was going when I went to prom.
Okay.
My mom went around the mall asking random boys if they would go to prom with me.
Oh, damn. That's crazy. I had 2 dates to my prom.
2? I didn't have no date.
That's because I'm a mother's dream girlfriend. That's how I ended up with 2 dates.
I didn't have no dates, okay? I didn't have no boys in my yard. I had guy friends. No one asked me to prom, okay? My mom, this guy from the church, his nephew, who was a freshman in college, took me to prom. My debutante, somebody from church's son, took me to my debutante. Like, I had to be gotten on my dates, okay? None of my dates I get on my own, okay? But if you look at me today, it's a different story.
Listen, let's not talk about dates, okay?
We're not going to talk about it because y'all might be listening.
Crystal,
Listen, if you want to hit the DMs, go ahead.
Crystal milkshake to change this flavor this season, okay?
But it took me a little bit longer, you know what I mean? And I'm a different person. I feel like I can handle it differently than I probably could have handled it before. But sometimes we don't know. Maybe if I had all the attention, I would have been a little fast back then. You know? I don't know.
Okay, we're going on a tangent now. We got off topic. We're talking about manifest versus
We're talking about glowing up.
Okay. Bring it back. Okay. So, understanding manifestation.
Yeah.
I'm going to read directly from the card. Manifestation is the belief that you can shape your reality by focusing your thoughts and intentions on what you desire.
Yeah.
It's about aligning your energy with your goals and visualizing your desires. However, I think a lot of times in this conversation of manifestation, it stops there. It stops with visualize, speak, affirm, all these things that you could do, but you need to also work. The deliverance of what you're manifesting depends on that.
Yeah.
And that is the faith without works is dead.
Yep.
You need to have faith like it depends on God.
Yeah.
And work like it depends on you.
And you'll be surprised how roadblocks will just vanish. Once you start. Like when I first moved here, I was making no money at the job that I had when I moved here. I was very broke. Okay. I was very, 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 very broke. Okay. My job was paying me no coin. I had no money saved because I used all my money to move here. And I just kept saying I was going to buy a house in 9 months. I signed a 9-month lease on my apartment. That's how serious I was. And I was like, I'm going to buy a house. How? I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to buy a house. I had no money. I had nothing saved. My credit was trash. And I started one thing at a time. Okay, let's focus on my credit. And by the time it was time for me to buy the house, I think I had to extend. I was in my house by the 10th month.
Okay.
Right? So, and it's one of those things where anyone else would have thought I was crazy for thinking I have nothing when I'm starting. And I'm saying I'm going to buy a house in 9 months.
Right.
How in the world?
Right.
But I kept speaking it. I just kept saying it. I'm going to buy a house. Mm-hmm. You're gonna buy? Yeah, I'm gonna buy a house. So we signed I signed a 9-month lease. I'm gonna buy a house. Like, I believed it enough to sign a 9-month lease.
Right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to believe it and speak it,
mm-hmm.
and then start working, figuring out, well, what do I need to do to buy a house? I'm not just gonna think God's just gonna give me a house. Like,
exactly, just wake up one
on
day.
the 9-month mark.
Right. It's like that miracle that you're expecting for you to just get that $1 million dropped in, or somebody gonna ring your doorbell and give you everything you need to make everything happen.
No.
I'm not saying that can't happen, because it is a, it's
possible
probability.
It's rare.
It's real, but it's like that is not what you want to bank on. You
no.
know what I'm saying?
Work hard. If you're like, how am I gonna do that and save money? Get 2-3 jobs, save money. Figure out your credit, pay off your debt. Like, figure out what you need to do.
So, along with not just figuring it out, it's like having the proper steps to get there.
Research.
So, having a strategy. You can have a strategy for something as small as you want to get this job that you've been looking at, they've been posting or whatever. I want to get a job at Chick-fil-A. I want to get a job, or I want to do this, whatever it is. I want to go and do this tournament. What do you need to get to that win? And so I have this equation, which is strategy plus action and accountability equals goals reached.
Okay.
And so nothing happens unless you take action, and then you have somebody, or you keep yourself accountable. So keep that in mind.
And like we were talking about earlier, like the reward system.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to have like the opposite of reward system. Like, hey, if I don't get this done,
right,
these are the consequences.
The consequences. Well,
the
consequences, you're not going to get where you want to be. You could lose steam. You could get deterred. You could lose confidence in it. We're trying to help you, give you advice on like how to make sure that doesn't happen. But you can say you're going to do stuff all day long, and you can encourage yourself, and you can all that stuff. But if you're not taking action, the small incremental steps we talked about at the top of the episode, that you're not going to, then you don't have anything to feed that confidence.
Yeah, and you can even do things like, let's say you're supposed to go to brunch with your girls on Saturday, but you told yourself you need to wake up at 5 a.m. twice a week to do this, this, and this.
Right.
You didn't do it. No brunch on Saturday.
No brunch on Saturday.
Like, and it seems like I'm not a child, but you are.
You are. Yeah, that's your child that's telling you to not do the things you need to be doing.
Yeah, but I feel like children sometimes need. I feel like when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, I feel like, okay, girl, you're a child. Let's go back to the baby steps of structure and boundaries and consequences and timeouts and whatever it is that got you in order before.
Right.
So sometimes I have to do that with myself. Like when I was studying for my exam, I was like, girl, if you want to go out this weekend and if you want to go on a date this weekend, Monday through Friday, you need to study 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, no date on Friday.
Right. That's fair.
And I like dates
because you like dates because what?
They're fun.
Okay. Yeah, dates are fun. So basically you pay for lack of willpower through consequences.
But they're gonna help you. It's not like consequences aren't gonna be beneficial because you need to get done what you need to get done. Right. But sometimes you need to do that. Just like we said, you need a structure for being organized. Sometimes you need consequences for and speaking it. Just I love it. Have fun.
Yeah. So while you're in the middle of glowing up, you're still in the beginning phases of your not glow up side. So like, what is the opposite of wherever the opposite of glow up is where you are. There are times where when you put a concerted effort towards glowing up, everything is going to come at you that's going to want to stop you from glowing up.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. It's just like everything just happens, and it's like stop happening. Roadblocks. But learn to dance in the rain.
Yeah, I like that.
And what that means for me is when everything is going wrong, when a random bill came in that I wasn't expecting, when I got a phone call that I didn't want to hear, when I forgot something that I really should have done, like I missed a deadline on something. It's like those things hurt, they suck. The pain reminds you not to do that again.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be down all day, because that slows me down from my glow up process. So I for myself, I tell myself I can feel away, I can feel whatever I'm feeling in the moment, but I have to be happy. I have to dance, and not masking, but truly like, I'm going to get over this and I'm still going to have a good time. You know what I'm saying?
I give myself like a time in which to feel sad about it. Like, I usually get stressed around, like, the first of the month, to be honest. Around that time. And so I'll say, you can be mad and sad today, but you will not be sad and mad tomorrow.
Right.
And just moving on. So maybe you don't need a whole day. Maybe you're like, you have an hour
right
to be pissed about this.
Maybe half a day. Maybe till you get off work.
Yeah, whatever timeline you think to get it out, because you want to get it out. Because if you don't get it out,
that know yourself.
Get it out. Mm-hmm. If you need to vent to whoever you need to. If you need to throw something, whatever you need to do, don't break nothing. But do what you gotta do. But figure out what that time limit is, and when it's over, move on.
Yeah.
And be committed to moving on. I'm not going to dwell on this. I'm not going to talk about it all day. I'm not going to call people all week talking about it. I'm going to move on.
Yes.
Because it helps you not dwell, and it helps you stay positive.
And it helps you be able to prepare for anything. When you got a little dance, a little song that you could go to, a little two-step, when you're feeling down, it's like that can help you. You need your playlist. Yes. Pop it back up. Maybe we'll make Leak a playlist for your Dance in the Rain playlist. Oh, that's fun. Maybe we will. That'll be so fun.
We'll do two. We'll do one Liani's version and one my version. Yes. I feel like we might have two different.
Most likely. We'll put it in one. We'll do two. Well, maybe we'll put it in one. You can guess who's.
Oh yes. Yes, I'm gonna shock y'all with a couple of them.
Okay.
So let's talk about how do you stand up for yourself.
Mm-hmm. So we talked about when you're trying to glow up and people try to put a little douse, a little shade on your glow. Mm-hmm. How to stand up for yourself in those moments. Yeah. And I'm preaching to myself when I say this, because I let a lot of stuff slide for a long time, and then when I do pop out, it's aggressive. People are
shocked. Where does it come from?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's even little jokey joke things. It's you can check it with learning to check that with a joke. Mm-hmm. Learning to be charismatic with how I check you, because I'm in my glow up phase, and I don't need that shade over here, and you may not even know that you're throwing shade on my glow, but I'm gonna have to let you know. I'm glowing over here. Okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it's good. And figuring out what your statements are. If it's something that you hear a lot, figure out how am I going to respond to this.
Yes.
So it doesn't make me mad anymore. You don't want to be mad every time someone.
I know. And see, I'm over here doing my best. I'm over here, glowing up, and all these haters, they gonna see. I live in. It's one thing to let it motivate you, but it's one thing to live in that and let it fuel you. Don't let showing people and getting people back be the fuel
all the time,
because it won't sustain what you're doing. I've definitely lived in that space for a long time before, and I'm just not in that space anymore.
And you become an angry person before you know it. And meanwhile, they're just minding their business, not worried about you. Oh, she's a hater. It's right. You know what I thought
actually, I'm not a hater. I just wasn't thinking about you.
Yeah. Did you see recently? Kelly Rowland at the Canes.
The Cannes Music Festival.
Yes, and how she had an issue with the security guard who was talking to her disrespectfully, rushing her.
Yes.
It seemed like she was speaking down to her. Mm-hmm. And Kelly didn't get crazy, but she told her, "You will not speak to me that way. Mm-hmm. I am not a child." Mm-hmm. And she stood her ground. And when she was interviewed about it, she said, "Well, I have boundaries."
Right.
And I stood on them. Mm-hmm. And that is what it is.
Did you see the other lady who tried to have her,
with the dress?
Jesus cake?
Oh my God. Now that one got a little crazy.
And then she was almost pushing a lady down the stairs.
She did. Kelly handled it much better than that girl. That girl was like,
she said, this is the Lord.
Yeah.
Get up out of here. That's what she said.
But it just that glow up made me think about that. Because I feel like Kelly was having a moment. She was gracefully going up. She looked beautiful. Mm-hmm. Like she's in another country.
That lady should have saw not to mess with Kelly after looking at those back muscles. Kelly looked like she will.
Listen, and she was trying to be nice. And you see it. The first time she told her, please don't do that. Or don't touch me. And then it just escalated because the woman kept trying her.
Put their finger in your face, ma'am.
Kelly was mad.
And Kelly is very, how Beyonce is. It's they float on air, it looks like. And to see her come out of herself like that was really jarring.
And I wonder if that's, because I know there's another thing. She was on a show recently and she walked off the set or something.
Oh, it was a dressing room thing at Good Morning America.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people jumped to her defense, and they're like, listen, if Kelly walked out, there must have really been a problem.
Right.
Because she's the most easygoing, kind celebrity anyone's interacted with. So if she's no, then it really must have been a problem.
Right.
So that shows that she is in the season maybe standing up for herself and not just taking.
Yes, because for people like to take folks who are nice, people who like to lead with kindness. They like to play around with that. They like to tap dance on a kind person's nerve because I don't know why, but they like to push people's limits. And so if you're in a season where you're glowing up and you're I'm not going to stand for someone tap dancing on my kindness this, then find a constructive way to say it in a charismatic,
stand your ground,
funny way type of thing, or something like that.
Yeah. So I like it, and we were talking earlier in the week about like Scarlett Johansson.
Yes, she be standing her ground
all the time. But she does it very corporate.
She said, "You will not play with my name, not now, not ever."
I like it. I like it. And it's funny because we're not going to go down the whole rabbit hole, but we were talking about how Taraji was standing up for herself in the media, and it seems like it's not the same because they're completely different struggles. But she handled it one way, and Scarlett Johansson, I didn't know that she's had many lawsuits against the major networks.
She said, my lawyer's on retainer and they'll be calling you.
If they try her, she will drop a lawsuit quickly. But I heard she's not difficult to work with, like on set. She's not like, you know.
I want to know why people think they can keep playing with her like that though. Like, what is that about? Like, stop playing with people. You know I'm gonna sue you.
Maybe
I have a track record.
I don't know, but recently with ChatGPT, they asked her to be the voice, and she declined. And then they got pretty much, I don't know I don't know what they did, but they mimicked her voice anyway.
Right.
To the point to where even her family thought it was her voice.
Indistinguishable, yeah.
Yes, and she dropped a lawsuit.
As she should. I wonder how that's going to work though, because this AI, voice generated AI, is really going to be interesting how it unfolds over the next couple of years. If it's probably not going to get resolved this year, but in the next couple of years, because people are just using people's voices at will, and that's dangerous for one.
It's weird because it's like it feels illegal.
It's like you are taking my likeness. And you should not be able to do that.
That feels illegal.
Yeah.
Like, even, I know they did it to Drake first. Remember they dropped that AI song for Drake, and it wasn't him at all?
Right.
That was like a couple years ago. And then he did it with Tupac. So it's like, it's a weird thing of someone just taking your whole, like, you, and just using it and doing whatever with it. That's scary.
Right. So, you're taking advantage of somebody. So, and you're getting taken advantage of in your glow up phase can make you feel like you want to shrink.
Yeah. Or you don't want to share your talent because you don't want them to be stolen.
Right. But I can't really speak to this all the way. I can't wait to give an update on this. But how to navigate in your glow up and making sure that you are standing on your ground, respecting yourself, your morals, and making sure nobody takes advantage of you.
Yeah, protecting yourself.
Right, because a lot of times for me, it's like I just don't want that energy. I don't operate in that energy, so I'm not on the defense a lot of times. But then I need to snap into it real quick when somebody tries me.
It's like a balance of it, figuring out the difference between overreacting and doing too much and not reacting at all and letting people walk over you. It's a fine line. It's hard because I struggle with it too. When it comes to defending other people, I'm quick. Right. But for me, I'm like, it's not a big deal. I'm fine. But it does bother me. So like figuring out how to balance that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I want to have we may do another episode on that, on how to navigate people who like to take advantage of you or, take your kindness for weakness type of thing. Check them. I heard this thing. Nuck if you buck. Nuck if you buck. I heard this other thing where it's like, you could be kind or like you spread kindness, but you don't have to be nice to people.
Beyonce said that.
Oh, really?
She did.
Okay.
She said, I am not nice. She said, I am not, what did she say? We'll find her quote, but she worded it to where she was like, I am not nice, I am kind.
Exactly.
And there's a difference.
That's the fine line I'm working on right now.
Stand on business.
Stand on business.
So let's jump to things we wish we knew.
Yes.
You go first.
So mine. Glowing up isn't a linear path, and the first step to glowing up is improving your habits.
I like it. Mine was, I wish I knew that a slow glow can be a lifetime glow.
Oh, I love that. Slow. Yeah, glow. You heard that song, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was about to bounce with you though. I was like,
yeah, glow. Anyway, slow glow. Just let your slow.
I do know that one.
I love
me some Coming to America. But speaking of glowing up and a slow glow, we are in a slow glow on getting y'all subscribed.
Yes. Subscribe and watch us slowly glow into the #1 podcast in the universe.
And you can say, I subscribed first.
You subscribed first.
We'll remember you.
Exactly.
Follow, tell a friend. Go to Giggles and Goals on Instagram and all the social medias, and gigglesandgoals.com to find all the ways to stream us. And you can find our personal pages on our Giggles and Goals podcast social media, and you can make sure you utilize Liani's resources because she got you. Yes. And make sure you utilize mine because I can help coach you up as well. So either way, follow us. We love y'all. Have a great day.
Bye.